Have you ever opened a big family size bag of chips and realized it somehow disappeared in one sitting? Now imagine the same chips divided into 10 little bags. You would have to stop, tear open a new pack, and make that decision again and again. That hesitation, that tiny pause before the next bite is exactly what psychologists call the partitioning effect. It's why people consume less when food or products are divided into smaller perceptible units, even when the total volume is the same. Hi, I'm Akanksha, and this is The Storyteller's Lens. Today, we are diving into partitioning, the fascinating consumer psychology that explains why its small packs, wrappers, and visual divisions change the way we eat, drink, spend, and even binge media. By the end of this episode, you will see why consumers don't eat until they are full. They eat until the unit is gone. And you will understand how smart brands design those units to nudge behavior. So let's start with the core idea. The partitioning effect is simple but powerful. Consumers eat less or use less of a product when it's divided into smaller packs. Each new partition creates a decision point, a subtle pause that forces us to consider whether to continue. Think of it this way: one big bag of chips vanishes without thought. 10 mini bags make you think 10 times before continuing. That small act of opening a wrapper is a psychological checkpoint. Unit bias, work by Rosen and Doros in 2006, showed that people tend to treat a single unit, whether it's a slice of pizza, one cookie, or one pack, as the correct amount to consume. The size doesn't matter. The unit feels the norm. Second, rationing experiments. Studies by Brian and Colin in 2012 demonstrated that dividing food into smaller packages significantly lowered consumption, even when the total food was identical. Third, research by Chima and Soman in 2008 revealed that the same principle applies to money. When people divided their cash into envelopes, they spent less. Partitioning acts as a mental checkpoint in multiple domains. And finally, decision points theory. Each new pack introduces friction. It doesn't stop behavior entirely, but it slows us down enough to reconsider. So, why does this matter for everyday consumers? Because each small pack reshapes our psychology. Number one is default serving. A unit feels like the intended portion. Smaller packs reset expectations of what's normal. Number two is consumption monitoring. Partitioning makes intake visible. 10 wrappers on the table make you more aware than an empty bowl. Number three is friction costs. The effort of opening another pack, however minor, disrupts mindless eating. Number four is self signaling. Finishing one small pack feels like closure. Starting a second feels like crossing a new indulgence line. In one study, people given 400 calorie packs of crackers ate 20 to 25% fewer calories than those given a single 400 calorie bag. In financial behavior, partitioning money into envelopes reduced overspending by around 12 to 15%. Paul Rosen's portion size research also showed that once a unit is finished, most people stop eating, even if they are not actually full. The partition signals closure. And Wonsing's Cornell Food Lab showed that even visual partitions, like segmented plates or divided packaging, can cut consumption without people consciously realizing they're eating less. You have probably seen partitioning at work without even noticing it. 100 calorie packs. Launched in the early 2000s, they became a $1 billion category because people believed the partition was portion control. Individually wrapped chocolates. People eat less when each piece is wrapped compared to loose candy in a bowl. Next is meal kits. By pre-measured ingredients in small packs, companies reduce both waste and overuse. Bar versus body wash. A bar of soap feels like a single unit. People tend to use less compared to liquid pumps, where consumption isn't visually constrained. Let's look at a few real world cases. Number one is Nabisco's 100 calorie snack packs. Launched in 2004, they hit $200 million in sales within 2 years. Consumers perceive them as healthier, even though they contain the same calories as smaller portions of a large pack. Next is Pringles in Asia. Limited edition mini stack tubes led consumers to eat fewer chips at once, aligning with health positioning trends. Next is alcohol minis. Airlines and hotels use mini bottles not just for convenience but to naturally limit consumption while charging premium prices per unit. And the next is a non food parallel. Streaming services such as Netflix remove partitions by auto-playing episodes, fueling binge watching. Meanwhile, Disney and HBO kept weekly partitions, slowing down consumption. Partitioning opens up a toolbox for marketers. How? Number one, portion control positioning. Small packs can be marketed as a smart, health conscious, or on the go choices. Number two, is premium upsell. Minis often justify higher per unit pricing. Think luxury sample sizes or hotel mini bar bottles. Three is behavioral nudges. Visual partitions like trays or blister packs subtly reduce overuse without dieting languages. Next is subscription design. Budgeting apps use partitioning with digital envelopes. Games and learning apps use levels for the same reason, sustainable engagement. Of course, partitioning is not without risks. Number one is environmental backlash. Individually wrapped packs create more plastic waste, a growing concern in eco conscious markets. Number two is overcompensation. Some consumers justify eating multiple packs. Oh, it's only 100 calories each. Next is shrinkflation suspicion. If framed poorly, small packs can feel like companies are giving less for the same price rather than offering portion control. It ties into other well known psychological effects. Unit bias. The idea that one unit is the right amount. Mental accounting. Each pack feels like a new account. Default effect. A small partition sets the consumption norm. Decision points. Wrappers and barriers create natural breaks. It's the bottom line. Partitioning works because each pack resets the decision. Small packs make consumers feel in control, reduce overconsumption, and often allow brands to charge more per unit. Visual segmentation can achieve the same result without changing the product itself. It's most powerful in health conscious, on the go, or premium markets. But it comes with responsibility, overuse risks, environmental critique, and consumer backlash. In the end, consumers don't eat until they are full. They eat until the unit is gone. Smart brands know this and design their units carefully. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.